Hello, and thank you for joining us today on how to import data from Excel or CSV into InfoFlow. So to begin, when you first open up InfoFlow, you'll see this Getting Started with InfoFlow window. Please click on the Import from Excel or CSV button, and you can see the Import Wizard form appears. So you have a few options here. Obviously, you're going to want to import contacts or companies. You have a drop down here as well. You can also import projects or tasks, but the most common are contacts and companies. So let's stick to that. And you can choose if you want to import from CSV or from Excel. So we're going to go with Excel. Either one is works. Okay, so you select MS Excel and then you click the Browse button and you select where the file is. So okay, it will take a moment just to load. And now you'll notice you have two columns. The left-hand column are all the fields from the Excel spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, I have no data here, but just to keep it clean so you can see. Now, the most important thing is that when you import, when you set up your Excel document to import into InfoFlow, the first row are the names of the fields. If those aren't, if it's not set up that way, if you put it in the second row or somewhere else, then of course InfoFlow won't be able to know which fields you want to map, which you can see here, the import field on the left-hand column. Okay, and you can see here we have a few different fields, so let's go through each one of them in the import wizard. So if I want to import the first name, I just select the first name in the left-hand column, and then the right-hand column, which are the InfoFlow fields. I'm going to find the matching field, so first name matches with first name. Easy. We're going to do the same thing for last name. Email will do the same as well. So you just scroll down the list and click email address. You can see, just click add. You have a drop down here. In this case, obviously, you're going to use email address. You have an option here for phone number, post address, and email. There's a thing called label. We give you a default label. If you want to change this, if you want to call this like work, that will be labeled as the work email. That's fine. You can do that. Okay, now we're going to import the second email. Now you'll notice that there are two emails in my Excel import, and there's only one email address here. So if you want to add an additional email field to map to, you'll have to click the plus email button on the right hand side, and the same thing goes for if there are additional phone numbers or addresses, things like that. So you can see it comes to the bottom here, and I'm going to map that as well. And we're done. And now we're going to go to post address. And one by one, I'm just going to put in the street, the state, and the zip. We're done with that. Now categories, you can see here, if you want to import your categories in InfoFlow, it's not a problem. Just create a category column. So, if this is John Doe and you want to put him in the software category, that's fine. Just have it listed as software here. You can also put him in a second category. Let's just say the category is CRM. That's not a problem. It's going to create the contact John Doe, and then it's going to create two categories, software and CRM, and link John Doe to both of these categories. Okay, so now to map those, you just click on category, and then category on this side, and obviously there's only one category, so you're going to want to click plus and map the second category over. Now the last thing I want to talk about are custom fields. This is very important. Obviously you can see you need to add the field in InfoFlow, otherwise where am I going to be able to map this field? So just quickly, just kind of moving out of this, if you're gonna want to import custom fields, you're gonna have to go into preferences, and either under a contact, if you're importing contact, or a company, both have options for custom fields. We'll go into contact. You're gonna have to create that custom field. We'll have another video on custom fields for you to be able to view, but just make sure you create those fields, otherwise you won't be able to map that field in InfoFlow in the import wizard. Okay, you just grab that custom field and you map it to, this is just a random custom field, to the matching custom field, and all you need to do is click import. That's it. You also have the option to save mapping. So if you've gone through this whole effort of mapping it and then you realize that you need to update something, you can save your mapping. We also have advanced options. The most popular thing here to look at is if you want to, this automatically imports the first option into new contacts and merges. But if you want to just overwrite what you've already done, you can click that. That's basically it. If there are any other questions, please be in touch with our support team at www.carmelvision.com/support. Thank you.